Thanks again for tuning back into the channel, and as you can see by the title, it is quite a bold statement to make. But I would just like to say for the record, it's an opinion, and it's my opinion. And it's my opinion because you know what cameras you photograph with, and you know what cameras feel right with you and provide you the results that you're looking for your photography. If you followed this channel or watched any other videos before on the channel, you'll know that I shoot both with the Nikon Z7 II and also the Fujifilm X-T5. Now, out of the two of those cameras, I am drawn more to the Fujifilm. And that's not a slight on the Nikon Z7 II by any means at all. It's a phenomenal camera. I'm just drawn more to this camera, and I tend to take that out more and more. Back in February, Fujifilm very kindly allowed me to try out the GFX100s along with 3 GF lenses. The 23mm, the 20-35 and the 45-100. And on top of that, they allowed me to try it for a month. So I had all of this equipment for an entire month to use. The camera for me and the type of photography that I do, whether it's landscape, product, or whatever it is, my main thing is landscape. I absolutely loved this camera. Absolutely loved it. The only thing I didn't like about it is the fact that I can't afford one at the moment. That's the only thing I didn't like about the camera. It was phenomenal, very rich, detailed images, everything you pointed it at, it was sharp. It's a phenomenal kit, absolutely phenomenal kit. The detail it captures is phenomenal. I'm not going to say sharpness, and I'm really not going to, I'm going to try and avoid saying that because it's something we always look for in lenses. How sharp is the lens, and I am being slightly pedantic about it, but the detail that this captures is phenomenal. If anything's out, it's your fault, it's the photographer. That's how good this system is. I shot mainly on the tripod for most of the images, except when I took out the 45-100mm, and that was simply because the weather wasn't the greatest, so it was a kind of run and gun type shoot. Every time it looks as if it's going to stop, it just comes on again, so it's easing just now. So I'm going to dive out and get a couple of shots of this over here. A couple of images I did once the rain eased. I took a couple of images with it on the tripod, but most of them, and you'll see them during the video, most of them were taken handheld because that lens itself has got optical image stabilization built in. The camera suited me and my photography, and I have to say it's just my opinion. It means nothing. It's just, you know when something feels right, and that felt right to me. As I say, I just wish I could have afforded one. I'm not very good at technical videos at all, so there's a couple of bits in it just about the spec of the camera as well that I've thrown in there. The camera itself is solid magnesium alloy construction, weighing in at only 900 grams. It has a deep grip, which is very useful, and a smaller DSLR style body. It's weather sealed in 60 different places, and the camera can operate, thankfully I didn't have to try it, but in very challenging conditions and in temperatures as low as -10. The battery life is good, although I did always carry 2 batteries with me, because after about 6-7 hours of shooting, not constantly mind you, the battery was nearly depleted. And I was actually surprised that it didn't deplete quicker considering the specs of the camera. You can't actually go wrong with this camera. It performs impeccably well in all that it does. Landscape or product. The LCD screen is sharp and has a tilt function as you would expect. The top function screen is bright in its projection of the settings, which incidentally is an always-on display. This I found very useful when picking up the camera for a quick shot, as all my settings were there. It's also programmable depending on what you want, whether you want information, dials or the histogram. If you are a Fuji shooter, you'll be used to the menu because the system is clean and easily navigated, and you're able to save your favourite settings to your own menu. There's a whole host of aspect ratios, including my new personal favourite 65:24. The camera itself has great image stabilisation, although most of the time I had it on a tripod, except when using the 45-100, which also has image stabilisation built into the lens. It has a fast autofocus, never once lost focus or jumped to another subject in the scene. The images that you're going to see are taken with all three lenses, and I've kept the images to a minimum. I just wanted to see how it performed for me, or should I say how I performed with the camera. A month was long enough to test it out and gain an opinion on it, and that's again why the title of the video. Would I like it for longer? Oh my god, yes. It would be absolutely fantastic to have it for longer, but I do appreciate that Fuji allowed me to borrow that equipment for an entire month, so I'd like to say thank you to them for that. I loved it. I found no problems with it. It did everything that I wanted it to. It wasn't too bulky, and actually very similar to the D850. I actually probably think the D850 was heavier, but I would carry the camera around very easily. Would I go on long hikes with all three lenses? No, I didn't, but that was through choice. I would take a single lens out at a time, and that was another reason for that as well, was to confine me to shooting with that lens. Whether it was the 23mm, the 20-35 or the 45-100, I was confined to looking for compositions with those lenses and with those focal ranges. So I didn't take any more than one lens out at a time. You might think that's silly, but I actually think when it was testing something out, it kind of pushes you a wee bit more just to look for things, and in some cases to focus and zoom with your feet, should I say, not focus with your feet, to zoom with your feet. Enjoyed my time with it. Would I recommend it? Yes, I definitely would. But as you know, if you follow the channel, I am a Fuji lover. So that's it, Fuji fanboy. I really enjoy the systems, and to have 102 megapixels of a Fuji system in my hands for that time was absolutely brilliant. It was absolutely phenomenal. I just do wish I could have afforded one, or could afford one. It's just something that's not for me just now, but perhaps in the future. There you have it. That's my opinion, and that's why I say it's the best landscape camera. Have I anything else to compare it against? No, I don't. It's the best landscape camera for me, and that's why I've said that in this video. It is just the best one for me, and I do wish I could afford one, but unfortunately I can't. And I'm not going to be let down with the X-T5 or the Z7 II. It was nice, it was really, really nice of Fujifilm to allow me to use that. And this video that you're watching just now is not a sponsored video in any way at all. It's just that I wanted to kind of tie up the videos that I had started with the GFX system. Hopefully you get something from it. Hopefully I am not going to get a load of abuse in the comments stating that there's better cameras there's better this, there's better that. It's simply my opinion, and I wanted to just share my opinion on the GFX system. Thanks again for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.